0-3, a far cry from where we were this time last year. Let's talk about it. So, I honestly don't even know where to start. Like, you know that when I'm doing these sort of things, I'm not really writing anything down besides some stats or whatever. So this really is all off the top of my dome. First off, before we go into absolutely anything, one, I really hope that Mason Wood is okay. That concussion looked so bad. It sounds like, or not sounds like, he does have a broken collarbone as well. So I wish him a full, speedy recovery. At the end of the day, that's all you want. You want sort of no injuries, and if players do get injured, you want a speedy recovery. You hope they're okay. It looked horrible on the ground. It looked like he was convulsing and stuff. So I'm glad that it's only just a concussion. So yeah, apparently he was having breakfast with the team this morning, so that's really good signs for him. So, happy about that, but wishing him a super speedy recovery. Two, the Saints, man, like I said in my preview, they took it right up to Geelong, and just came up short, and they were out to absolutely get us, and get us they did. They had 10 players under 50 games or something. Jack Steele led the way, Rowan Marshall, just everyone in that team, Owens, bloody hell. It's just, well done. Good on them. Good on them. Good on them. They knew we were right for the picking, and they picked us off, and coming off a 5-day break for them. So that was huge for them. And, congrats. They played really good football at times. At times we sort of kicked back in, but for the most part, they got out to a 33-point lead, like the highest lead in the game. So props to them, unfortunately. But those niceties are out of the way. Let's talk about the Pies. I haven't felt. It's a weird feeling, actually. One, I haven't felt this deflated for a very long time. So that's 3 losses in a row. I think that's the first time we've lost 3 in a row under Craig McRae. You probably have to go back to 2021 when we've lost the last 3 matches in a row, or 2020. No, maybe not 2020. 2021 we might have done 3 losses in a row. But this feels different. This feels different to any sort of run of losses in a row. And it feels different because we are the reigning premiers, right? And I know Geelong were reigning premiers last year, and they lost the first 3 games. But the thing with Collingwood was that there was so much expectation of us going into this season. I was so not confident that we'd win it again, but I was confident that we'd be up there, right? Because you hear it from the players, you hear it from the staff, you hear it from the coach, you hear it from Fly. We are running PBs, we are hitting every single GPS target, and then some. We're hitting PBs in the gym. David King saying, I've never seen, or whoever was saying, I've never seen a team come back hungrier. Jordan De Goey looks like he's going to the Brownlow. Nick Dacos looks like he's going to get in the Brownlow. And we were the reigning premiers for a reason. We played really, 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 really beautiful football these last 2 years. And look, I can't, like I said, it's a weird position because 4 games ago we won the premiership. And I know that's 6 months ago, but still, 4 games ago we won the premiership. And now we're 0-3. We go up to Brisbane on Easter Thursday to play the grand finalists, who are 0-2. So one of those teams is going to start their season really poorly. And I think, reading like Twitter comments and Instagram comments and stuff, everyone is in sort of 2 minds. Like, yes, we have to be. We're upset that we're like this, but it's just like we just saw a premiership, right? But the thing about that is, like, we just saw a premiership. We shouldn't be playing like this. They talk about hunger. They talk about flicking a switch. I've never played professional football, obviously, right? Look at me. But it can't be that easy, right? It can't be that easy just to go, oh, you know what? Yeah, bang, we're on. Let's go. Come on, let's go. It can't be that. I can't even do that in my job, let alone doing that on a professional football field when another team wants to get you. They talk about hunter versus hunted and how we're the hunted will be the hunted. Braden Maynard came out at the start of the season, or before the season started, and said, "Why can't we be the hunter as well?" And I just haven't seen that. I haven't seen the hunter mentality. I haven't seen the hunger mentality. Like Nick Dacos saying that we're a hungry football team. We're still hungry for it. Craig McRae saying the same thing. We're just not seeing it. We're just not seeing it. And the things that we were good at for the last 2 years, it's come to a head that we're not good at it anymore. And who am I to question the boys' mentality, right? I can't say that they're definitely not hungry. They don't look like they want it anymore, because only they will know what they're thinking. Only the coaches and psychologists and stuff will know what they're thinking. But from the outside looking in, it does look like they've just, I don't want to say given up. It's hard because I don't want to be super critical because we just saw a premiership, but you have to be, at times you have to be critical, you have to be frustrated, and I'm frustrated and I'm depleted of will at the moment. But it just looks like the hunger is just not there. And you can see that when players are backing out of contests, fumbling everywhere. Like when does, I was going to say when does Darcy Moore fumble like that? He's done it for the last 2 games. But Steele Sidebottom went at 26% yesterday. Scott Pendlebury, Mitchell, Darcy Moore, Quaynor, Bobby Hill, Nick Dacos. These sort of players who are elite with the ball, are missing handballs, they're missing kicks, they're causing turnovers, they're handballing into other players' heads, and they all lead to St Kilda goals. And then, these things obviously don't win you games of football, and that's why we're sitting 0-3. We can't get the fundamentals right. Craig McRae, after his presser, said, "We work on fundamentals more. I guarantee you we work on fundamentals more than anyone in the competition." And it doesn't look like it because we can't hit handballs. We can't, like where was that fast attacking team gone from the last 2 years? At times, I'll give him this. At times, yesterday during the game, we looked good. In that second quarter, we kicked 4 goals in a row. There were patches that we looked really good, and we're like, "Oh my god, fast, bang, 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 handball, bang, bang," and it looks like the Collingwood football that we've come to know and love. But it's in patches. It looked better than the start of the year. It looked better than last week. Still in patches though. We haven't been able to put a consistent, not even 4 quarters, 2 quarters of football. We haven't been able to put a consistent 2 quarters of football. We haven't been able to put a consistent 1 quarter of football from start to finish. So there is a lot to work on, and it all came to a head against St Kilda, and everyone needs a good hard look at themselves. And people will say, "Oh, we haven't got Nathan Murphy, we haven't got Dan McStay." Yeah, that they mess up our system not having them in. Nathan Murphy absolutely messes up our system not having him in. Dan McStay doesn't help because we need a big key sort of forward, and him out doesn't help us. But Nathan Murphy and Dan McStay in, that doesn't mean that if they're in, we're hitting 100% of the handballs, we're hitting 100% of the kicks. They're not messiahs and genies to help us, right? We'd still be missing these handballs, we'd still be missing these kicks because we were very good at being the pressure side. Now we're the pressured side. And Craig McRae said it best. He said, "There's 3 players with 1 ball in the middle. No one is going for it because everyone's like, you do it. And that looks like the mentality. You do it, not me. You do it." And that reminds me of, there is a psychological study. I think it's called the ambulance theory, maybe? This is going back to year 12 psych. That was like, that was so long. What, 2010, 2024? That was 14 years ago. But pretty much what it's saying is when you see like a car accident and there's people around you, you're like, "I'm not going to ring the ambulance because someone else is going to do it." And then that someone else is like, "I'm not going to ring the ambulance because someone else is going to do it. Someone else is going to do it. Someone else." And then no one rings the ambulance and this person, dies or whatever it may be. And that's what I feel like Collingwood are at the moment. It's like, can't someone else do it? Can't someone else do it? And that mentality doesn't win you games. It doesn't resonate with the fans at all. And, we're frustrated. Fans are frustrated. I don't want to speak for all fans, but I feel like the majority of them, people that I spoke to, are just frustrated because they just don't look up for the fight. And I think that's just with life just in general, right? When you give up, you don't want to fight anymore. If you don't want to fight anymore, you give up. And that's just kind of looks like what's happening right now. It just looks like we've given up. It honestly, and I hate to say this. I really, really hate to say this because I bleed black and white for this team. I absolutely bleed black and white for this team. But it looks like everyone in this club, or most people, have gone, we've done it. We won the grand final. Beautiful. That is amazing. 16th flag. Here we come. We got it. And now they're like, one and done, boys. One and bloody done. We won the Premiership last year. We don't have to win it again this year. We don't have to back it up. But you do. You do have to back it up, We know that we weren't smashing teams out of the water last year, right? So we knew that teams were going to catch up. And, teams have gotten better. Look, it doesn't help that we played GWS and Sydney, two top four teams to start the season, and St Kilda, who are kind of, thereabouts, but they were still a good team. And it doesn't help that we were fixtured with a week less break than everyone else. We were fixtured for 3 games in 12 days. 3 games in 12 days. Now, I know St Kilda came off a 5-day break and we came off a 6-day break leading into this game, but we played 3 games in 12 days. One of them was interstate, and I'm not making excuses. This is just a fact. We played 3 games in 12 days. How does that affect anyone? I really don't know. But that fixturing can't be right in professional competition. It is what it is, unfortunately. That's just how we've been. That's how we've been scheduled. So we play 3 games, 12 days, and then we go up and play Brisbane next week. So that can't be good for legs and stuff. When we saw Will Hoskin Elliott manage, we saw Tom Mitchell manage as well. I'm not going to get into the umpiring because I know this video will be clipped and people will see it and go, he's fucking making excuses. It wasn't the umpires. Collingwood played shit, man. That's 100%. We played shit for the most, for 75% of that game, we were shit house. The umpire, look, free kick count doesn't always necessarily mean that you were hard done by, because it could mean that you were going first in for the ball. But when you're sort of seeing something paid for St Kilda, that is there, right? Holding the ball too high, whatever, it's there, done. When you're seeing that get done to you and it's not getting paid, that's when the frustration sort of arises, you know what I mean? But ultimately, the umpires, didn't win or lose us the game. We lost by 15 points. We convert a couple of chances. We get better defensively, and we don't let them score, 4 goals from inside of the goal square. We've conceded 300 points consecutively for the first time under Craig McRae. That's shithouse. From a defensive unit that won a grand final, that's shocking. That's really, really bad. That's really, really bad. But look, when I started Swoop Luke, when I started the videos, I always told myself, if you have something negative to say, always sort of spin it with a positive, always sort of go into a positive. And there's not a lot of positive to sort of talk about, or sort of certain ways that you can spin this. But, bloody hell. 0-3. Saints, oh, it's not Saints. Sydney in 2017 was 0-6 and they made finals. It's still a very long season, right? The beauty about it, it's still a very long season. It's not like we're playing 3 shit games leading up to an elimination final week 1. Okay? Perfect, good. That's great. There's a lot of things that we can rectify. A lot of them look easy enough, handballing and stuff, and hunger in the contest. Be a pit bull, Go in and attack that ball. I don't care if you fucking knock someone else out, one of your own players out, because you're going for that ball. Everyone should be diving for that ball. Everyone should be making the ball their number 1 priority. That what they did last year, they're not doing again this year. And it's evident for the whole football world to see. The whole football world can see that we're not hungry for the ball. And that's sad. That sucks. That's sad. But that's the reality. And for the next week, until we play Brisbane next week, you'll see so many articles about our hunger and how bad it is and all this stuff. And I'll post them on Instagram because that's what I've been doing for 5 years. I'm not going to shy away because we're losing something now and posting something negative. No, that's what I do. I'll be posting them anyway. But we got to get that hunger back. And Braden Maynard said it's a flick of the switch. I don't think it's that easy, but if they think it's that easy, please let this flick be switched. Positives though, player-wise, Billy Frampton. Oh, I said one guy could save us, and Billy Frampton was nearly that guy. He played out of his skin. The best game I've seen him play for the club, besides that grand final where he should have won the Norm Smith. So good. So good. Max King kicked a couple of goals and stuff, but, more was on Max King. They were kind of rotating. But Billy Frampton was that big lockdown defender, taking really good intercept marks. I think he finished the half with 4 intercept marks. And then hitting targets, goal assists. He can't come out of the side now. Billy Frampton stays in the side. Jamie Elliott, after having a really crappy start to his season, showed so much fight. He was hungry for it. He's 31 and he was hungry for it. Hungrier than most of the guys there, right? So he showed a lot. Reece McGuinness comes in, kicks 3 goals, 3 marks, 3 goals, 12 disposals. I think he did phenomenal for the inside 50s that we were giving him. For his opportunities, really seized it with 2 hands. I said that's what he needed to do. And that's exactly what he did. He seized it with 2 hands. So we absolutely love that for him. He stays in the team as well. Finn McRae, could he have been given... I don't have his stats. I'm spewing. I don't have his stats up. But could Finn McRae have played a full game, in the midfield? Definitely, 100%. I can see why they started him in the on the bench to kind of give us a boost, but it was probably a bit too far gone at that stage. I think against Brisbane, he has to play the whole game. Josh Dacos, one of the best games he's played for the club, I reckon anyway. He did really well. Tried 700 metres gained, tried everything. But like I said, there's a few positive patches here and there, which is great. But there was a lot of players just really down that shouldn't be down. Like Jordan De Goey, he's been clamped these last 3 weeks. He looked good in the preseason, and now he's been just clamped like, they've worked what to do with him because he needs to get going. Nick Dacos didn't do much as well. He was well held as well, so credit to the Saints there. Like I said, it just looks like people have figured out our game plan, which is fair enough. People are going to rip your sort of game plan apart, but it doesn't look like we have a plan B. You pressure us, and then that's it. And then you win the game. So there is a lot to work on, and these guys are going to get, I hope, like Craig McRae looked freaking frustrated in his presser. So I hope he absolutely rips them a new one. But in saying all that, fuck, I still love this club, man. I partied hard during our premiership, and maybe some of the boys did as well, but I partied hard. I really soaked it in. The 2010 premiership, I didn't soak it in enough. This one, I really, really, really soaked it in. And look, if I know anything about this club, I know that we'll be okay. It's a long season. We'll be okay. And again, it starts now. St Kilda is done. That game is done. I was really sad. That's why I didn't make a video last night. That's why I'm making it now a bit more level-headed. I'm still a little bit frustrated, but our attention turns to Brisbane next Thursday. And that is going to be... That's literally a season-defining game. That's you don't come back from 0-4. But that's season. But look, all in all, credit to the Saints. They were magnificent. Pies need to really, really turn up the heat. Really turn up the heat. Maybe some seniors go down into the VFL because they just weren't showing enough. We need players who are hungry. We need players who are absolutely hungry. Maybe Steele gets dropped. Who knows? But it is what it is, unfortunately. And that's football. There's a winner and there's a loser. Sometimes there's a draw, but not often. There's a winner and a loser. Unfortunately, we were the loser these last 3 weeks. And we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We're in really good hands. You feel like this is a bit of a Collingwood defining year, though. How we sort of back up the premiership and how we handle our aging stars and the new recruits and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts down below. And until then, like, comment, subscribe, take family, take friends, take pets, and until next time, double shaggers. I'll swoop you later.